Now you have to be a little more clear. When you take them to SeaWorld, take little Johnny to SeaWorld, and they've had their aquarium at home where they got the scum suckers and the goldfish and whatnot. And then you take them to SeaWorld, and they see these huge fish and a porpoise and whatever else might be in there. And you say to little Johnny, see all these beautiful, huge fish? Well, he's used to, guppies and such. And then you introduce him to these. Well, they all aren't fish. Some of them are mammals. Those that surface, take in air, come back down. And so you're messing with Johnny's mind a little more now. Now it's not scum suckers and goldfish. It's
Concepts.
all these other things. And you're still calling them fish. Well, yeah, it's an overgeneralization. But now you're having to distinguish fish and mammals. Now we're going to go to prototypes. Shouldn't have put this hard candy in my mouth. Probably choke on it or something. Detroit Auto Show. Somebody's sitting around before you ever get there, and they're thinking, we need a new sports car in our lineup. And I've got this image, this idea in my head of something that's low slung and kind of a rolled top front and a cut off back. Well, let me just kind of sketch it out here. And so in black and white, he does that real quick. And then he puts a little color in it down the road to give it a little more clarity, the design, the flow. And then he hands it to one of the other departments and says, can you make a styrofoam model of this picture? Okay. And so they do a styrofoam picture. And then they do one in clay. And then they do one in sheet metal. And each time, the image that the guy at the table drawing, each time they have a different concept, the styrofoam, the clay, the sheet metal, adds a little more clarity. And then they make a running model with a real engine. That's the prototype. And so when you go to the auto show in Detroit, they will have concept cars that you can't buy. They're prototypes. And the idea here is if there's enough general interest from all the visitors at the auto show in the concept cars or the prototypes, if there's enough interest, we'll actually start building them, put them on production line. The problem is that most of us don't get outside the box and think about something new. If we have an image of something or an idea, most of the time we make it die right here. We revive it and then we kill it. Oh, it's too expensive, or I don't have the ability to do that. I don't know of anybody. Oh, it's too far-fetched or too whatever. Like the news this morning, the watch that Apple's coming out with that does everything. It's like one of those Spock things you talk to, and it talks back to you. Like Secret Service movies on TV. Around the corner.
James Bond.
Will it go over like the iPad and the iPhone, etc.? Who knows? There are other watches out there now already, but this is Apple, and this is Apple's big new thing.
They released on the news this morning
ingest inside your vehicle, and cops are raising hell about it, because they can like see somebody walking up, and
Oh, the camera in the mirror?
it's just a tiny, tiny camera in the passenger side mirror that you can adjust from the inside, and it comes up on a screen inside the vehicle.
To watch the cops?
Well, I mean.
Or
cops are raising-
whoever?
Whoever walking up beside them, but I mean, cops are raising hell about it.
Surveillance.
It's all the news.
Good for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
Surveillance.
Cops aren't usually coming to the passenger
A
side.
lot of them do now, if they're riding.
Well, if they have
there's-
two,
If they
yeah.
have two, one will go up on one.
I was gonna say, if it's just one, they shouldn't really be worried about it, but
Big Brother's watching out for us.
Oh, yeah. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Anybody ever see that?
Yes. Do 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 do.
Uh-huh.
Aliens.
It's an older movie, yeah, for sure.
He played that tune that got their attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Yes.
Was the star.
Yes.
Okay. And he was in shaving one day after he'd had this experience in his truck on the railroad track. And he was in shaving, and he squirted a big bunch of shaving cream in his hand. And then he kind of started looking at it, and he shot some more shaving cream, kind of trying to make something out of it. And then he just went ahead and started shaving. And then for dinner that night, they had mashed potatoes. And he took this big clump of mashed potatoes, put it on his plate. He started looking at it, and he got some more mashed potatoes, plopped it in, boom, and he started shaping it, his mashed potatoes, until he literally had
Playing with his
most
food.
of the kitchen table heaped over with mashed potatoes in the form of only in his mind, a mountain. And what had happened was his experience at the railroad track crossing had created in him an image of what he was supposed to do or where he was supposed to go. And it lingered in his mind, this image of a mountain. And so the shaving cream originally, and then the mashed potatoes, he started forming into this mountain he was supposed to be looking for. And then later on, he literally did see the mountain and went up on it.
Interesting.
But
Richard.
that's just another example, kind of like the car, of moving from an image to a concept to the real life mountain.
Concepts.